Alright, this video is going to be about either working for yourself or working for someone. Alright, so really quickly, what do the two entail? And what do I believe the attitudes are towards the two? So, working for yourself, obviously, being an entrepreneur, which is just taking risk and deciding that you're going to be your own boss. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, and emphasize passion, because that's why you should be going out to work for yourself. It's because you're passionate about something and you believe that in that field you can be your very best at and hopefully contribute something to society in that particular field. Or working for someone, which is getting a job at a 9 to 5. So, standardly 9 to 5, I should say. I think work schedules are getting a whole lot more flexible these days and a lot more taxing on the soul, but that's beside the point. So working for yourself is usually seen as riskier, but my first point is that working for someone else is also risky, especially if you decide to get an education. A lot of people just see education as a safe passage. You know, you go to high school, you do as well as you possibly can. You go to college, you do as well as you possibly can. You get an internship, you do as well as you possibly can. You get a job, you probably get a second job, and all of a sudden you're building credibility. Okay, you have a track record behind you. But what people don't assume is that that's also a risk. You're not guaranteed a job. You might not be unemployed, but you very well could be underemployed. You may be, after a college degree, a master's, a bachelor's, whatever it is, you could be working a job that you only did a high school degree for, or that does not use any of the skills that you've developed. So it's still very risky to work for someone, to say I'm going to work for a corporation. And I believe people should actually think more critically about that. Nothing in life is guaranteed. There's no set path that's going to get you towards whatever you want. And that's the fun of life, which we take our chances and we just let the chips fall where they may, and we do our very best with that. And working for yourself, again, I will never apologize for being capitalist and believing in democracy. Well, believing in a democracy is very easy, but capitalism and everything capitalism stands for, I just really put a lot of faith in the people that I look up to. So a lot of the framers, especially of the Constitution, and their emphasis on property rights, obviously, who they wanted to give those property rights to is another conversation, but just property rights, the fact that you can make for yourself what you want and you're entitled to enjoy the benefits of what you get. No one can take it from you, and you're allowed to be your own man. I believe every society should be based on that, and working for yourself is obviously very risky because you can very well fail, but the risk between the two, I feel like a lot of people think this is a whole lot riskier to work for yourself, but I think this is almost as risky, okay? And I believe society kind of molds us to work for someone else, and that's how our schools are taught. I do this and get this grade, and then you'll move on to another level, which is the standards that you see in a company. You do well for a certain period of time and you get a promotion, and you do well there, you get a promotion, so you're constantly reaching for something that is above you. And then when you actually get to the very top after 75 years and it's time for you to retire, you realize that it was all for nothing, really. But that is not to say that working for someone is a bad thing. Okay, I think what I wanted to get out of the way was the conversations that people are usually that people usually have when it comes to the two. So my philosophy is that both of them work. Okay, I see life as just one big internship, one big learning process, and personally, my passion, what I feel like I was put on this earth to do after developing for a certain period of time, is really to help people, and that's why I put this helping hands thing together. But I know that in my heart I want to do something that helps develop communities, and if I'm able to do something that actually makes intelligent decisions, trying to understand and predict the dynamics of emerging markets. So, societies who are trying to better themselves but have infrastructure problems, trying to predict the best approaches to getting the most out of those communities and getting the most benefit for a company. That's something I'm very excited by. So absolutely emerging markets, especially in the right political environment and social environment. And then brand recognition. I'm a marketing geek. I love creative ideas. I like to see how a brand can be developed, and I love to watch how people absorb the brand. It's always hit or miss. You can't take things too personally. All you can do is try. So for me, those are things I'm passionate about. Now, to work for myself, can I start a company doing all those three things? I mean, you try and figure it out. It's not something where you can say, yes, you know what, I'm 18 years old, I'm not going to go to college. I'm just going to, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up shop and I'm going to start developing emerging markets. It's not, you can't look down on working for someone else because it's a chance for you to learn. Even if it takes you 20 years, you're developing your skill because you care that much about what you want to do, and you understand that working for someone else allows you to use their resources to magnify your potential. So if I work for a Fortune 100 company, not only do I get to lean on the people that work there and use their expertise and develop myself, I get to represent that company and grow myself as well. So I'm not starting from scratch. And if I build a career with them, understanding that I'm still doing what I love to do, it may be for someone else, but I'm compensated for it. I'm developing the skills that I hope to eventually use to stand on my own, because when I retire, I may still want to do something within this field, but you just don't look at it as, oh man, I'm just coming to work for someone and I'm not getting the most out of my life. No, if you're gonna work for someone, still try and do what you love to do so it does not feel like work, and realize that you have an advantage because you get to utilize their resources. And that's how I look at it. So I absolutely encourage, yes, be an entrepreneur, think of innovative ideas, be a master of your field, take chances, but not every field is going to be very forgiving or tolerant of mistakes. So if you were going to open up a barbershop, you cut one person's hair and it doesn't really look very good, but another person comes in and you get better, fine. But if you're in a field that, where you're taking a lot of risk and a lot of people depending on you, you want to be a master of your craft. All right, so there are different developmental stages for different fields, and I don't look down on either of them. My whole thing is do what you love. If you're gonna do it for someone else, that's fine, as long as it's what you love. If you're gonna work for yourself, do what you love, and everything is going to work out. And don't look at life as I'm working for what's going to come next. Whatever your present moment is, you need to feel like you love it and you're in that moment, you're mindful of that moment, you appreciate everything that moment is giving you, and you could do that working for yourself or working for someone, as long as what you like. And some people may go, well, how's an economy going to survive if we cannot find, like let's say call center, for example. A lot of people don't wake up wanting to, having a dream to work in a call center, but the truth about life, again, we can't be too idealistic. I feel like there's a lot of dogma out there that is just based on idealism, and it's not real. The fact is, immigrants are going to come into a society if you're flourishing, and for whatever case it is, not to look down on them. They may be desperate for a job. They might not be able to. They may be. Well, call center would probably not be the best place for someone that can't speak the language, but just jobs that most people wouldn't want, someone else is going to want that. Life is all relative. Just because you have a dream and you see life a certain way doesn't mean everyone else thinks that dream is ideal, or they're not in a position to chase a dream right now. Maybe call centers will be filled with high school students, or maybe someone just really loves talking to customers on the phone. You're going to find that society is going to be able to absorb that. You don't have to worry that there are jobs that aren't going to be filled. There are going to be people that are interested, maybe because they're disenfranchised and they're desperate, or maybe because it is what they really want to do. But society will be able to absorb everyone. We just have to have faith and just focus on doing what we love, because that's how we're going to be able to give back to our community. So when it comes to working for someone else or working for yourself, just focus on doing what you love. And if you're working for someone, do what you love so you're able to learn and hopefully set up on your own. And if you're not one of those enterprising people, it's fine. You could just do for someone else and then take a nap, travel the world. I don't know, make a movie or something. There's nothing wrong with either of them.